All right, good morning. Injury-wise, Bodden, he's dealing with a calf, similar to Sam McGuavin from a week ago. We're just trying to monitor him throughout the week, but he won't be a participant. Hardy and Eccles are both dealing with their hamstrings. They won't be a participant today. Trying to work them back in for game day, and then everyone else will be in practice.
About DJ Reed?
DJ is progressing, so he'll be in practice today. And so he's cleared all his hurdles. He just has to clear the hurdles of practice now.
Are we going to do a walkthrough today?
Yeah, we're just getting a walkthrough. We'll have a full speed individual, but then followed by a walkthrough.
What was the rationale?
We've had a lot of night games, a lot of late travel, getting in at 3 a.m. This first half of the season. And just felt like it was important, especially dealing with the altitude. Got in at like 3 a.m. on Monday, and just felt like it'd be good to just kind of give our guys another day to breathe, but still get our work in, and then we'll get back to it tomorrow.
What was the thought of bringing Herb Charles to the active roster? I know you kind of talked about it on Monday.
Yeah, no, it's a special teams deal. He did a phenomenal job with regards to teams last week. Obviously made a big impact play on the very first punt, his first play of his career, which I thought was cool. But we've been trying to find ways to get him up, and we had an opportunity, and we did it.
With Nicole Hardman, where does he stand now? I mean, does he have a future here? Are you guys looking to accommodate him and maybe get him to a place where he can get more playing time, or what exactly is going on?
Oh, he's here. He's working, competing. And until someone upstairs says otherwise, we're going to do our best to try to find ways to get him involved.
I think people look at Hardman and they see this is a guy who contributed on a team that won the Super Bowl last year. Now he's here and he can't even get on the field. Why have you guys not been able to work him in when he's been able to find a role other places, like specifically Kansas City?
No, that's a fair question. I think what we're missing the opportunity on is to talk about Xavier Gibson. Xavier Gibson, since he's gotten here, has done a phenomenal job with regards to his kick return ability and proven that he can do that. And, just his attention to detail and the way he's been attacking every day and evolving. And he's a young guy. He's hungry. He's playing fast. And if you guys have noticed, he's getting a lot more opportunity on the football field. And he's going to continue to get a lot of opportunity because when the ball's in his hands, he's pretty darn special too. And so I think what we're missing out on here is just an opportunity to really champion Xavier Gibson in this moment, and the fact that a young guy came undrafted and he's done nothing but attack his moments, and he's going to continue to attack his moments.
What stands out about the Eagles?
Really good up front on both sides of the ball. A lot of respect for Jeff Stoutland, the O-line coach. He's one of the best in ball, and their group on the offensive side, I feel like they've been together for 20 years now. They've been doing the same scheme, the same techniques, the same five. So the amount of continuity that they have, you can see it in the way they play, the way they adjust from series to series. Like it's almost like you're playing the Peyton Manning of offensive line. You can hit them once, but I promise you they're going to make the adjustment and fix it, and they know how to. And it's pretty cool to watch them play, especially when you go in chronological from play one to the end of game, and how they adjust on the fly and what defenses are trying to do to take advantage of them. But a special group, and then you got to deal with the outside guys. It feels like they've got Pro Bowl players at every position, and quarterback is a special young man, and so they're a challenge. There's a reason why they're the NFC champs. And then defensively, same thing. Their front very similar to ours in its depth. They come at you in waves. They're very talented. They're aggressive. They're violent, and they're sound in the back end. So it's a challenge.
What do you think of the tush push?
A lot of respect for it because there's other teams trying to do it too. But the reality is they're really good at it. It feels like the quarterback is wearing a bulletproof vest when you look at him. He's got all that padding on, but. Whether they get it, we're going to do our best to try to stop it. And, the quarterback's got and they do a lot of stuff off it too. They got reverses, they got pop passes, they got stretch plays. They do a lot, so you got to be sound, you got to be disciplined. So we'll do our best in that regard. But if the quarterback carries the ball, we got to give him love and kisses. Figure out a way to do that. So.
Really good line. Why do you think they have been so successful at it, and the teams that have tried to mimic it have not? Really as successful.
Well, they got 5 Pro Bowlers on the offensive line, and a really damn good offensive line coach, and they play violent, they play aggressive. They got a quarterback who's super strong in terms of creating leverage. Like I said, I don't think he feels pain when he gets hit, even though we're going to try legally. But he's talented. The whole group is talented, so I think that's the advantage they have.
Would you want to see them play band at all next year?
If it's a safety issue, I'd say so. But it's just a scrum. I'm like I said, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. So a lot of people are hating on their play because it works, but no one else can seem to make it work to their efficiency. So bravo to them. They found a play.
How do you prepare for that? Do
You know it's coming. Everybody knows it's coming. You know what I mean?
It's funny. Everyone's got opinions on it and like I said, it's not like it's just that play. They go no huddle, so they get you in small personnel. The 11 personnel, they go no huddle. They can run it. They can. So you'd love to get 60 linemen on the field, but they don't let you. Then off of that, they've got all these different plays that they run. So you got to be disciplined in regards to that. So you can't just pile up everybody in the middle, although it seems like that's happening. So you've got to be disciplined with your eyes. You've got to be disciplined, and then you got to take your shot and you got to strain. But there's a reason why they're so good at it, and like I said, kudos to them. They're the best in the world at it. Other teams, New England did it on us and we stopped them. So it's not like, everyone's trying it, but they just do it better than everybody else.
Do you have to actually simulate that in practice? Was is Trevor Siemian the guy who's?
It's not something. I don't think anyone will ever practice that. It's just not something you practice, and you might in a walkthrough because it's a scrum, and you would hate for someone to get in a practice to get hurt off something like that. But we'll have the alignments. We have every single one that they've done, and all the things that they've done off of it. And credit to them. They make you have to spend time on it. So
there have been things, and there have been wrinkles that offenses have put in the past years. Like when Kaepernick came out, he was running like crazy, and RG3 back then. There always seems to be defense gets a little close to stopping it, then the next one gets a little closer, and then eventually you figure out the fix. Have you seen things this year that makes you or that gives you a hint that maybe defenses are close to stopping the push?
No, there's nothing out there. They're like I said, that front 5 they have it's man on man, will versus will, and it's just a scrum. And then the quarterback, like I said, he's so powerful. Just whether they get it or not, like I said, we gotta kiss him 11 times. So
when it comes to your offensive line, how frustrating is it that you haven't been able to have that continuity with ABT now obviously going down, and the potential that this group has shown when they've been able to have big games for the running backs and open up holes?
It is frustrating, but it's also an opportunity for someone else. I mean, in a perfect world, it's like Madden, you turn the injury button off, no one gets hurt, no one gets tired, and you just can go play football. But injuries happen, and you'd love to work with the same 5 guys on the offensive line because you can see, like even from a defensive perspective, the longer you're with what we do, the more players understand, the more we can adjust on the fly, which is why I think we're pretty good adjusting on the fly because guys understand where teams are attacking and all that. Same thing for an offensive line, just having those guys, the continuity, you can see it on tape that they're so in tune to when they're double team reaching up to a linebacker or whatever, they're so in tune to how they play off of it, and they're so locked into one another. It's a special group, it's a talented group, and like I said, when you've been in the same system for as long as they have, together for as long as they have, it's in play is seamless, and it's like I said, just a really talented group.
Robert, the Jets are 0-12 against the Eagles historically. That doesn't have a lot to do with the current group, but do you use that? Do you talk to these guys about, like, hey, this is the history here?
No. What's cool is the NFC champs are walking into our building, and it's an opportunity for us to get after. We've played, some good football teams. We took Buffalo and Kansas City down to the wire. We got another great one coming in, and so it's hopefully it's hopefully a fun game for everybody, and hopefully we're on the right side of it.
You had Collins in yesterday. Where do things stand there? Does adding preclude you from pursuing anything with Collins?
No, I always mess with Joe. I feel like every week we have an O-line workout. Always encouraging him to not be shy to bring in some more D linemen, but no, it's just standard procedure. You lose a guy, you bring a guy in to work out. As far as where that stands, it's probably more of a Joe question, but But every week, we're always doing due diligence on players and positions just to see where they're at. So.
Robert, how impressed have you been by Bryce Huff, and how much has he elevated sort of in that pass rusher rotation?
Yeah, he's done a great job. He's really improved with regards to the run game. When we first got here, he remade his body and became a pretty cool pass rush specialist. And over the last year, he's really done a nice job to kind of force his way onto first and second down to get more reps in those opportunities. And we know what he is in the pass game, and if he can continue trending in the right direction with regards to the run game, he's definitely got a place.
A couple
They
more.
got you a few times, Robert, in the run game on Sunday, Denver, not talking about Russell as much as 38. How do you feel about the way the run defense has played this season?
There's definitely things where we can do better. They got us on 2 runs. They got us on the crack toss. They got us on the trap. And then obviously Russell scrambled on the rest of them. From an efficiency standpoint, it had been going good. Last game wasn't good enough with regards to the two big runs. But from a down in and down out standpoint, it had been pretty good in our eyes. When we need to stop the run, we've been able to. We got a tremendous challenge this week. I feel like they're averaging 1,000 yards a game rushing. And so it's going to be a challenge because the quarterback element comes into this one. So they're, like I said, they got a lot of things that they do, and it's going to be an issue. So.
What did you think of Conklin on that third down play, and how important has he been for this?
He's been great. He had 2 big third down conversions. The one, where he ran kind of a choice route on a linebacker and got a big first down, led to points. And then the 37-yarder he had, I think it's representation of what this group is, just especially that tight end group. Put the whole team on your back, and the strain and violence and love that I think our players have for one another, to put that forward, and then seeing the O-line run down to push them, and the amount of effort that was involved, and everybody just showing up, thought it was a cool play.
Do you feel like you can cut out the explosives in this defense that takes the next step? I think you guys have done so good in the red zone, but most of the touchdowns have been explosive plays.
Yeah, that's been that's kind of the foundation of our defense, is to eliminate the explosives. And teams are going to hit it. I think we've been. I feel like we've been a top unit in explosives for as long as I can remember, and. But if for some reason it feels like early in the year, always it just 1 or 2 leak on you, and then you just get faster and faster as a defense and understanding what teams are doing week in and week out. But you're right, it's those explosives are. Tell the team, if you get an explosive on offense, you're basically getting points, and if you give one up, you're basically giving points. And so if we can eliminate those 100%, we'll hit our stride defensively.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, thanks guys.